What if your biggest setback is actually God preparing you for something greater? Welcome. My name is David, and today we'll be walking through one of the Bible's most powerful stories about the character Joseph. Now, this is all in Genesis, and we'll be talking about the life of Joseph. Joseph was 17, young, hopeful, favored by his father, so much so that Jacob gave him a special robe, a robe that made everybody jealous. Let's keep that in mind, that robes back in the day, or clothes in general, are not as easy as today. You go to the store and buy them. Back then, they were very expensive and hard to get. But Joseph had dreams. God-given dreams. Dreams of leadership and dreams of purpose. But instead of celebrating it, his brothers, they hated him for it. Now, after being sold by his brothers to slavery, Joseph goes really fast from favored son to slave. And then when he does everything right, he's falsely accused and thrown into prison. Now, at this point, it kind of seems like everything is backwards, right? Like things are unfair. Because I surely would feel that way. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. But the Bible has very interesting words that come next. Let's read them together. Genesis chapter 39, verse 21, it says, "But the Lord was with Joseph in the prison and showed him his faithful love. And the Lord made Joseph a favorite with the prison warden." Now, the key words I want to take a look at here is, but the Lord was with Joseph. What does this mean for us? Joseph had God with him, even when he was in prison. Even when he was chained up, God was still with Joseph. Now, while in the prison, he had two people he interpreted dreams for. As we know, that is the chief cupbearer of Pharaoh and the chief baker. After interpreting the dreams, years pass, 2 to be exact. And Joseph is still honest, still faithful, and choosing character even when nobody is watching. But then Joseph has a dream that nobody can interpret. Not a single wise man or nobody in Egypt. Or so he thought. But after some time, Pharaoh's chief cupbearer finally speaks up. Like, come on, finally, like you finally spoke up. And he remembers a young Hebrew man that correctly interpreted his dreams. Oh, we can already guess who that man is. That's nobody but Joseph himself. And Joseph interprets the dream for Pharaoh, and instantly, from one moment, the same moment he went from being father's favorite to slave, the same moment he went from slave to prisoner, now is the same moment he's going from prisoner to ruler, the second in command under Pharaoh. This shows that God has a plan for us, but he must figure out if he can trust us with it. I want to share with you guys 3 points. Point number 1 is people's actions, they cannot stop God's plan in your life. People can betray us, but they cannot break God's plan for you. Joseph's brothers sold him, but God was positioning him. Let's take a look. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people." Their attack pushed Joseph right into the alignment of God's purpose. God is with you even when life seems unfair. God's presence is not determined by how good life feels. Joseph was in slavery and Joseph was in prison, but the Bible still says, but the Lord was still with Joseph. Now, you may not understand your reason, but we have to know that God hasn't left you, and he's with you at every moment of your life. Now, Before God gives you something greater, He watches what you do with less. If you don't know the parable about the talents, I would recommend you guys read Matthew chapter 22. A very interesting story. God promoted Joseph because He saw Joseph could be trusted. In Potiphar's house, Joseph was faithful. In prison, Joseph was still faithful. And God saw that, and He decided to open the door. Now, if you want God to give you something greater, you have to show Him that He can trust you in the season that you are at this moment. Right now, what you're going through, show God He can trust you. Maybe life is confusing right now. Maybe you lost something or someone. Maybe the dreams that you wanted didn't come true. But Joseph's story shows us this: God is not done. Your pit is not your ending. Your prison season is not your identity. Understand that God is preparing you for something a lot greater. Just stay faithful, because He's a lot closer than you think. I hope this encourages some of you guys to really look over the paths of your life, to understand that sometimes you need to go through something in your life so that you can grow. That people cannot control God's plan for you. That God is with you, even when life seems unfair. And before God trusts you with something greater, He watches you on how you do with less. If this encouraged you, subscribe and comment below what you would like to hear, and I'll make it happen. Remember, stay faithful, read the Bible, and pray every day. God bless you guys.